Good morning, everybody. It's Mike from PC Classic Cars back with another test drive video. Today we are in the 1972 Chevelle with a 383 stroker motor and a 4-speed. This car also has vintage AC, so we're going to turn that on here because it is hot. We're going to let this car warm up a little bit just because it's got a high performance setup and don't want to cause any problems. So this is a 72 Chevelle. Best thing about this car is the drive line that's in it. The guy that we bought it from said it's about 500 horse, maybe a little bit more. I don't have any real specs on the motor, but after driving it, it's definitely a well put together. It seems like a professionally built motor. It's supposed to be a 383, and this car will get away from you quick. It runs extremely well. 4-speed shifts through the gears great. Again, we're going to let it warm up a little bit before we get on it. Power disc brakes in the front, power steering, and then the suspension on this is it's got QA1s all the way around. It's got the adjustable coilovers. It's got the tubular control arms in the front and the back. It's got the sway bar, so it rides really nice and firm, very responsive. Mechanically, there's nothing that I would really do to this car. If you're going to nitpick, maybe add fuel injection, but that's personal preference. Some people like a carburetor, some people like EFI. This car's set up so well that I really wouldn't mess with it. And it's got a little bit of gear in it, but we're cruising at about, let me turn our gauges on here so I can read them. Cruising about 60 miles an hour right now without a problem. We're doing about 3,000 RPMs. So it's got a little bit of gear, but nothing too crazy. On the interior, it's got obviously bench seat. It's black. It's got the cloth inserts, which I actually really like. It's a very comfortable interior. Nice comfort grip steering wheel. And then you have your aftermarket. I believe they're Dakota gauges, which look really nice. They're red faced. All of that stuff is working. You have your vintage AC setup here in the center. Horn setup works. Really, the only items on this car that are not working is your wipers don't work, and then your washer sprayer fluids don't work. Also has a really nice sound system in it. Has speakers in the package tray in the back, and then it's got a couple small subs in the rear with an amp. Sound system sounds great. And again, this car is just an excellent driving car. Temperature's coming up good, so when we do our return trip, we'll kind of get on it a little bit. We won't get crazy because it'll break the tires loose pretty easy, so we don't want to get too aggressive with it. Probably one of the better running GM cars that we've had in a while. It's nice getting something in that has a little bit more performance. Most of the stuff we get is just kind of stock small blocks, or even if it's a big block, they're usually kind of just stock. So getting one that's got quite a bit of power is always a lot of fun. Nothing too crazy, and it runs really well. Back on the interior, door panels are nice. It's got a few little nicks on the edges of the door panels, but the headliner, the carpet, the dash, all that stuff looks really good. And then obviously, like I mentioned, you have the Dakota gauges in there, which look really nice. Like anything, once you get a little bit of gear in the rear end, when you get up into the RPM range, you get a little bit of a harmonics, get a little bit of a vibration at the top of the shifter here, but it's minimal. Really nice set of dual exhaust. Mufflers sound good. Nothing that's too crazy. You can have a conversation while you're driving. Just a really fun cruising Chevelle. Underside is really solid. It's had a little bit of work done. It's had a trunk pan put in. They did a nice job. But the floors and the frame rails, everything is really solid on the bottom side. Go take it down our bumpy road here. Also has an aluminum radiator, so it stays nice and cool. It's almost 100 degrees here in Texas, and we ran the car there a little bit, and we're about 180 degrees, so no overheating issues. All your glass looks great. Windshield has no problems. Side glass is also good. Cosmetically, I don't know when this car was painted. It's definitely an older paint job. It still looks good when you walk up on it. But on the front fender extensions, it's got some little touch-ups, some little stone chips that have been touched up on the lower rockers. A few little chips and little imperfections kind of miscellaneously around the car. Nothing that's egregiously popping out at you, but just kind of indicative of an older car that's been driven. I think the mechanicals are a lot newer than the paint. I think like I said, I think the mechanicals are a lot newer than the paint. But again, this is a car you can hop in and drive. It still looks really good, but when you get up close on it, it does have its little flaws. And as always, if you check out our website, check out the additional photos. We'll show imperfection pictures and all the little flaws on the car. Our Does It Work section will be on there. Photos of the motor numbers and things like that. Got some snakes crossing the road back there. Yeah, this Texas allergies, I apologize if I get a little tough to hear. Seems like Chevelles have been, they've always been an expensive car. They've always been very, very popular. I haven't had a lot of them recently just because the price points just seem to be up there quite a bit. And, we got the opportunity to buy this car from a gentleman that had it for a while, and I really like the fact with all of the mechanical stuff done to it. So that's why we picked this one up, and it's just a really good car. All right, coming up to the last couple turns here. Downshifts always sound good. Clutch feels good going up and down through the gears. Let this little Sonata get out of our way here, or Sentra. As always, guys, I appreciate you stopping in to watch another one of the test drive videos. If there's ever anything else you want to see, don't hesitate to leave a comment on the YouTube channel, or you can call or text me directly at 903-820-1019. If you don't already follow us, check us out at pcclassiccars.com, or you can find us across all social platforms. The handle is going to be PC Classic Cars. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and we will see you guys on the next test drive video.